It is Valley FM. We're live from our studios here. We have a special guest in the studio. It's always nice, particularly when he's a local man, Phil Mansell. Okay, now Phil, the most recent book is Uncle Mungo and the Great Wallaby Painting Contest.
That's right.
So let's start off. Why children's books?
I've written other children's books. In fact, I've got about 3 others that I'm currently working on, which are in various stages of being finished, and they'll be added to my portfolio on Amazon. Right. I've always loved books since I was a kid, so it just seemed a natural thing to do. And one of the books I've written is actually a children's novel, and that was written after rereading Enid Blyton, who I know is now greatly out of favour, but when I was a kid, she is what turned me on to reading and also to writing after that. And I reread some of her books, and although there were lots of things in it which were politically incorrect and I don't approve of at all these days, the actual storytelling I found really good. I mean, she really knew how to spin a yarn, and it inspired me to write a book set in 1950s Birmingham, in the back streets in Winson Green, which is where I grew up. And that's another one that's waiting to be published. It's an adventure set in the slums of Birmingham. And it's a children's book about a girl who gets involved with a wolfman.
A wolfman?
A wolfman.
In Birmingham? In
Birmingham. It's called Holly Wilde and the Wolfman of Winson Green. Which,
so how many books have you actually self-published so far then?
Just one. This is the first.
Just the first one?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's the writing is one side of it, but you also do the illustrations in the book. And I mean, I'm looking through and they are fascinating. There's a lot of work in these. Where did the artistic thing come from? Was it separate to the writing thing?
I don't know. They've always gone along side by side, I think. I know I've been drawing since I was about 4.
Right.
There's some paintings I've done recently of my Uncle Tommy, who actually taught me to draw when I was about 4 years old. And he used to live in one of the slum houses just round the corner from me. And I used to go there, and he wasn't a well man, and he used to sit there, and they couldn't afford tablecloths, so they used yesterday's paper on the table. And he taught me to draw cowboys in the margins of the newspaper, and ever since then I've had a love of drawing and painting as well.
It's one of those things. I mean, I have difficulty drawing the curtains. I mean, you give me a pencil and I can't do it. So I've always got a great deal of respect for somebody who can. Again, when you're sort of tying these illustrations up to a story, do you get a picture in your mind and think, oh, that's what I'll draw, or does it start in a completely different way?
I've got the picture in my head.
Right.
I mean, I know exactly where it's going to go in the text. I know exactly what I'm going to draw the picture of. It's funny because my son is also quite artistic. And I remember when he was about 5, he was drawing with me, and he said to me, it's just as if the drawing is already on the paper and all you've got to do is fill it in.
Okay.
And I think for a 5-year-old to say that, and I think that's exactly how I feel. I can see the picture on a blank piece of paper, and then I just fill it in.
Okay. All right, we'll come back and chat some more. Fascinating guest, Phil Mansell, with us, who lives in the Valley. We shall come back and talk some more about not only children's books, but plays and other things coming up as well.